For my final project, I've decided to talk about the focus of sports journalism and the way that the players are being perceived and respected in their own facet of a person as well as an athlete. It all begins with the use of this in sports journalism. It is used with digital media such as TV, radio, articles, tweets, Facebook, TikTok, all of that. And when we begin and we are talking about what we've learned over the last semester, I wanted to look back at the employees. And the employees of these companies such as ESPN or Deseret News or BYU Sports, they are supposed to get as close to the situation as possible and be able to get to a place that they can trust the athletes and the athletes can trust them, vice versa. So it's a give and a take, which is very meaningful and very impactful for athletes to be able to trust someone so that they can open up to their own personal life. The way that they're able to maximize their reporting is to be able to talk to the high-end players, the ones that we see on TV, the quarterback, the receivers, the defensive backs, or the point guard, or the head coach of a team. They want to talk to these individuals so that they get the most information, because they know that most people will respect what these players or coaches have to say, rather than if they were to talk to an assistant coach or they were talking to a bench player. And so it's a very entertainment type beat in the sense that we all watch the NFL or the NBA or college football for entertainment. On the NFL's description, it says this is an entertainment service, which means that it could be swayed in one way or another if they felt like they wanted to do that. And another thing is that football is the most watched sport in college. It's of 84%. And when reporters are reporting, they want to report on something that's intriguing, that's interesting to them. And so the role of journalism is to inform, analyze, interpret, and explain. And so part of today that I wanted to talk about was the role of these athletes and the way that they feel. And so growing up, I played football at Corner Canyon High School, and I was there when we started the streak and won 3 state championships in a row, which enabled me to be around a lot of great athletes and a lot of exceptional one at that. And some are going off to the NFL in the next week. Some are going to still continue playing college football. Some are working towards it. Some are even playing basketball at college. And I also have the opportunity to talk to my high school football coach. And so as I'm bringing up these names of the players that I've been able to speak to, I've been able to learn a lot from their side and from their point of view and what they're able to view as good media versus bad media. And so as I begin, just a few names that I want to throw out there are Harrison Taggart. He right now is playing middle linebacker at BYU. Jackson Powers Johnson. He is projected to be a first-round draft pick who has played center at Oregon for the previous 2 years. Cole Hagan. He is the 4th-string backup quarterback on BYU's roster at this time. Noah Kerr is a receiver up at Weber State. Luke Sampson is a left tackle at Weber State right now. Jackson Dart is the starting quarterback at Ole Miss, who transferred from USC and is now in the conversation for Heisman candidates next year, as well as a first-round talent going into next year's draft. I was also able to speak with Isaac Wilson, who is now up at the U and is battling for the backup quarterback position behind Cam Rising, as well as my head coach and Coach Kerr from Corner Canyon High School. There are a few other names. Devin Brown, he's in the conversation for being the starting quarterback at Ohio State. And we can look at Jet Miney, who's a receiver on Utah's team, James LeBaron, who's a defensive lineman on Utah's team, Cash Dillon, who's a defensive end on Utah's team. Then I also was able to speak with Carter Welling, who's at UC Irvine right now. That's where he played this last season. He's a forward there, but he entered the transfer portal. And so with all these athletes, I just kind of wanted to talk about what they've all said to me and what they've all been able to bring to this story to help compile it and receive the information needed to learn more about the way that media is used. And so as I was speaking, they all were able to bring up the same thing, that They love having the media around. They love being able to answer the questions that the media has for them, because they feel like since they are on the team, since they are planning, and since they are playing, they will be respected the most, and they have the most insight into the game plan, as well as helping the audience and us viewers feel a part of it. And on the side of the journalism, they feel as if the reporters are always trying to get the best out of them and out of their character. As I was speaking with Harrison Taggart on the phone, I was able to talk to him a little bit about how he felt he was interpreted off the field, not as a football player, but as an individual. And as he was speaking, he was saying that he felt as if the media did a really good job at asking him personal questions that weren't so personal that they would overstep into his own boundaries, into his safe spot, but that he was able to share enough about his family and about those that he cared about and the things that he enjoyed doing, such as hobbies and such, that he preferred to do. And he said that the way in the locker room that the media is perceived is there's some people that are followed by the media 24/7, like the starting quarterback. And there are some people who want that, who are seeking that attention at all times, who are seeking that validation. And he said that at times it is bothersome, in the sense that he prefers that the media sometimes was behind the scenes. He also says he wishes that there wasn't as much media. He enjoys the media at that after games, at the post-conference, and that he would prefer that was when they talked to them, not just all the time when people call him up at random. He also prefers talking in person or on FaceTime with reporters as well. Another person that I was able to talk to was Jackson Powers Johnson. And him, if you go look at him on ESPN right now, there's a report of him talking about his own burger that he made up in Oregon, and how offensive linemen get burgers named after them, and the quarterbacks and wide receivers and such get sports cars or pretty things named after them, as he is an offensive lineman. I was able to talk to him, and he loves the media. He soaks it all in, and he enjoys being able to just be his true character. And he says that the media perceives him in a way that is himself, that they truly do understand his character and his love for the game, as well as his love for people, which I've been able to see in my own personal life. As I was also talking to him, he was able to bring up in conversation the opportunities that he's been able to meet with reporters as well as teams, and been able to not hide anything. And he feels that that is valuable, that they are perceiving him in a good light, in a light that makes him viewed in the public as a good person. The next person that I was able to talk to was Luke Sampson, who's up at Weber State right now. And he said that up at Weber State, there's a lot of people that seek after the media's attention, because they know that that's how they're going to make a name for themselves. As I was talking to him as well, he said that the media often perceives their players, this is from his point of view, in a way that is better than they actually are. He says that at times there are things that players say or do off the field, and he feels as if the media then puts them in better light just so that people will follow the team, which I find in most cases is the case, because everyone wants the athletes of their star fan bases, their star organization, to look good for the media and look good for a role model for their children. That's what Luke was able to help me understand on this subject. As I was able to talk to my high school football coach, Coach Kerr, I was able to learn from him that he enjoys talking to the media because they ask specific questions. They ask questions that make him think and make him ponder. And when it all comes down to it, he enjoys these types of things because he's able to be honest, and when he reads the report, he's able to know that he spoke honestly and truly, and that the information that was put down on the piece of paper, on that article, was truth, that was quote for quote what he said. And he said that he enjoys being able to talk about his past players in a good manner, because that's able to help boost their credibility as well. From the point of view of the media, I am able to notice that this is all the case, in the sense that journalists love making players look like great idols. If we look at a normal thing on TV, they always will praise the player, even when they make a mistake, because no matter what, they want the organization and they want that player to be credible and to be able to be marketable. And so in a sense, we're able to see that journalists do get the full story of the character of an individual. However, they oftentimes will hide that character if it isn't one that they want to portray out in the media, just so that that person can still be marketable. And they always want to do what's best for someone. And so it's really in a society of love thy neighbor as thyself that we're able to learn from the scriptures. And it's a unique opportunity for us to be able to realize that we still have trust in the society and we still have love in the society, but at times the media and the sports journalists do exaggerate things to help the players become marketable.